That's Dr. 8. He's a fun time. I do think Dr. 8 is kind of neat, just because it's... When designing him, I imagine they went through the idea of how do we get a player to understand what was said purely through what the player's character responds with. The player character knows it, but the player doesn't. So for the most part, you can just rewrite whatever information the player character would have gotten into the player character's response. But there are times where it's just like, eh, nice pun on the whatever it was. Term link header ref? I think. Things like that. And lastly, Dr. Klein. Dude who's super loud.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated. Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you. Hmm? Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left us some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me. I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs. Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us. A friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace. I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical. It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub. We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight. Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module. Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. They also broke one of my trains. This is the think tank. The nerve center of Big Mountain. The greatest research center known to man. And to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science. Atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power. Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here. That glowing red scar? That laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child? It is Mobius's fortress. From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic. Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe Mobius. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros' notes and schematics. Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why. Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear. Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well. It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab. Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto dock. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost. Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad. Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings. Yes, a most good buy.
So, that is the conversationalist gems of the think tank. And that'll probably do it for me for today, because I now have 6 new quests to do. All my friends have off switches is for gathering all of the various personality units that the sync has access to. So things like the toaster, and the light switches, and the auto dock, and those kind of things. Brain's best friend, looking for a dog. Sonic emitter upgrade, going to one of the research places, which I have to go to anyway for another thing. And then the 3 X stations, or X facilities, to gather various technologies to fight Mobius. And then the think tank itself is just full of a variety of unique and interesting locations to explore. I will absolutely do that as well. But for now, I think if I head outside, I might even be able to... No? Nothing? I was thinking there might be some enemies nearby that I could show off. This DLC does have some kind of neat enemies. There's the aforementioned Robo-Scorpions. There's, lobotomites, just people with their brains taken out. Oh yeah, I also got Dog Gun. Dog Gun. I don't know why it exists. Oh wait, hold on. Lobotomite. Shoot him in the head. Got him. Anyways, yeah, so I got that. I also got a Scientist Glove. Interesting. I can now punch with science. And the Sonic Emitter. Which, I believe as I change the frequency that this gun uses, it'll have a different thing on top, which will be neat. I want to test with the Hollow Rifle on one of these dudes. Assuming there is... Lobotomite just down... Oh, okay. Hello. You running away from me? Little weenie. Alright, this gun's not too bad. Not too good either, but, you know. Let me keep the pressure up with it. It doesn't seem like it's too bad. Kind of useful. Lobotomites, for the most part, are going to have these goggles and jumpsuits on. I'll just take both. And this DLC actually has some kind of sick melee weapons. There's the Protonic Axe, which is like a glowy purple axe. I think it looks great. So yeah, the Lobotomites... Ew, did they take their eyes out as well? Hold on. What? Ugh. Nasty. But you can even see, like, the scars on the head. Showing where they cut them open and took the brains out. Also, I'm being detected by something. Don't know what. Either way, next time I'll explore more of the Big Empty and do some quests. Get things done around here. And get closer to both the end of the game, the end of this DLC, and fighting Mobius. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I do hope you will join me next time. Have a good day, evening, night, whatever. Bye!